I have been a flight instructor and professor de pilote for actually under a year now. Feels longer. With the gray hairs it's giving me, that's a joke. A lot of people say tips. We all know about the sticky notes. We all know about the sticky notes, Brenda. I appreciate it and I love it and I love that for you and I love you. But respectfully, not every study tip is one size fits all. How did I make it through flight school? How did I make it through my associates? And now I'm actually back in school. So a moment of silence for my bank account. Straight off the bat, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm a really bad student, or I just don't know how to do flight training. And the confusion stopped when I realized how our brains work, because everything is in here. You're really like a couple pounds, a couple kilos of like this fatty slab of an organ that is controlling the rest of your body. So if you can learn how to do this and deal with this, the rest of it will fall into place. I really believe that health is spiritual, mental, and physical. I believe there's a triangle to health. Great, now people are gonna claim Illuminati. The more I read books on neuroscience and the more I study performance psychology, because I am an athlete, I do work out a lot, so much of your brain and how healthy your brain is will go into the rest of your life, and everybody already knows that. But when I became a flight instructor, I realized the way people learn as well. So I used to think some things only apply to athletes, and I used to think, oh, that doesn't apply to an academic career. That only applies to like someone who's trying to get really good at American football. But that is not the case. So I will say eat for your brain, which is fatty foods like it's walnuts, it is dark leafy greens, it is spinach, it is fish. I have changed my diet. I eat more now, for one, so that helps to actually have calories in my brain and body, but I also eat healthy brain foods, because I think if my brain is healthy and if I'm giving what my brain needs, my performance is going to be better, and it has been. And starting your day with sugar is not great for your brain. It's not great for your athletic performance either. So I do be having the coffee that sometimes has a little bit too much sugar. This is more bitter today. But when I started incorporating more protein early in the morning, I saw a huge difference in my focus. Like, genuinely. I'm not just saying that. So when people say like, oh, start your day off with some more protein to get your brain working, they know what they're talking about. Shout out to Wella and Steve for the coffee funds. Y'all have been keeping me going during finals week. Actually, this is from home, to be perfectly honest with you, because the coffee on campus is gross. I also highly recommend, let me put you on something, highly recommend her. She is the knockoff brand, because the other one is like almost $4. The Mio brand, but one of the ramp agents put me on that when I was a ramp agent, and it has some vitamins in there as well. So I'm gonna be honest with you, that when coffee doesn't work, that caffeinated water, whoo, like y'all wonder how I got through 16-hour shifts at the airport. That being said, I'm actually not too addicted to caffeine. I'm really not. I try to keep it under 120 milligrams, under 100 milligrams. Play with it, right? I'm not promoting 300 milligrams of caffeine, but I am saying that works for me. So find the caffeine or find the energy source that works for you. I know everyone's like, visualize your schedule, get a whiteboard, a dry erase board, and use sticky notes, but I actually do use those and they do help me. They're not gonna carry me all the way to the end of my degree, hello? But to put some common sense in your brain, if you are a visual learner, which I am, I have to have a visual, I will forget. I have taken online classes and I have forgotten that I had an online class. I've talked to other people where this happens. And you're not dumb. You're not dumb. You just have to have visual cues. You have to have a dry erase board in your kitchen. You have to have something visual. I have sticky notes at my work. I survive off sticky notes with my students, I promise you. So I have a system, a time management system for both being a flight instructor, it's usually sticky notes, and then I have a time management system for being a college student, and they actually correlate and cross over as well. So when I'm at school all day, and that is where my brain is at. I'm at school all day. I'm there like 13 hours a day. When it comes to work, I got my sticky notes, I'm with my students all day, and the mindset is flying, flight instructing, teaching. Baby, we're not going to touch anything about school. Sometimes I'll do school when I'm on break, on my lunch break, waiting in between students, but to be perfectly honest with you, it's not like I have a choice, because I also don't have a laptop. I have to be so good about my time management, because I'm out here raw dogging my college education. I am a CFI, I am a flight instructor and a college student. I don't got a laptop. One of my professors, my econ professor, called me brave, and I was like, sir, I told him I don't think I'm brave. I don't think I'm brave. I think I'm a little bit ridiculous, to be perfectly honest. And I think I strive under stress a lot. So again, know yourself, know your personality, know your learning style, because that is something that will make me procrastinate sometimes. But I've gotten a lot better at that, because I've realized time management is really the key to life. Y'all think everybody's lying about it, but time management really is there. It really does help and change your life around. Preaching to my past self. Don't worry about it. This whole video is me preaching to my past self. Make sure that you have a schedule, make sure that you have habits, and make sure you have a routine. Auntie Abby is here. Don't fret. I don't want to hear excuses though. If you don't have a schedule, it's like that whole saying, if you don't plan to succeed, you plan to fail. Knowing how the world works too, just on a molecular level. But if you really think about it, if you don't tend to something, things tend to stray and tend to go into chaos. They stray towards chaos. They don't stray towards perfection or towards peace or towards everything being streamlined. If you don't tend to something like your schedule, like your workout routine, like your eating habits, like your friendships, if you don't take care of them and build habits and make a point of being present and being consistent, they're going to stray towards the negative end of things. They're not going to get spontaneously better. So many people are like, how are you motivated, baby? I have not been motivated for probably like 3 months. Motivation comes and it goes, and it's never here as long as you need it to be. Also, if we want to talk about women and our hormonal cycle, I swear the luteal phase, every time my luteal phase comes up, I just want to quit everything that I'm doing because I'm tired, and no matter what I do, I'm still tired. I have a little bit of a flow. I do have a schedule and a routine for every day of the week. As you can see, my dry erase board, she's beautiful. She's the light of my life and the apple of my eye and the love of my heart. I will say though that working out before class, especially because I had back-to-back exams in astronomy and econ, or astronomy and stats, this whole entire semester, and then I also have students that are like, hey, let me contact you at 3 a.m. because you'll totally be awake and able to respond to me, and actually usually I am. You don't need a workout. I just walked and I get the brain flowing here. I get the blood flowing here. It do be so Gen Z. The post-COVID world is so different. I could talk about this in another video. People will wear one earbud in class, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. That's so like disrespectful to the professor. And it is, but let me tell y'all, I had like a week or two where I could not focus to save my life. I am saying I was praying, I was having the caffeine, I was working out before class, and I would go to class and I would sit there for 2 hours and nothing registered in this cranium compartment. It was truly disappointing, but I was like, adapt and overcome. So first of all, I did the one earbud. I crumbled. I wore one earbud. And the professor didn't care because a lot of other kids do it now. Like, it really is a different world post-COVID. I wore one earbud and I put classical music on while I was in astronomy. And it was such a vibe, yo. Can I be so honest about it? I paid attention more because just the way my brain works, it has to multitask almost. And if it's Gen Z to you, get over it. If you think buying coffee outside the house to motivate you for a little treat, a little beverage treat is Pavlovian, it is. Deal with it. Do what you need to do to get yourself through. Remember, you're paying for these classes to show up. So when you start not wanting to show up and when you start not being able to pay attention, you gotta do something. You really gotta learn the game so then you can break the rules. I'm probably gonna quote a song, but I'll lose monetization if I do. I cannot study inside the house. I have to leave. I have to. I am the opposite of whatever a homebody is. And I wish that I wasn't, to be honest, but people are really made in different ways. Imagine, we're all different, but very much the same as well. So adapt, learn the rules of the game, and knowing, for me, if I say I'm gonna study at home, it has never happened. But I know that I don't study at home. So what are you gonna do? I just have to get my butt out of the house. And you don't always have to buy a little beverage treat. I know. Shocking. But I'm here telling you, you don't always have to buy a beverage treat. The library is free. The library is free. It's beautiful. It has some of my most favorite humans in the world. I will always pay my library tax. Always. 1000%. I freaking love libraries, man. So I'll go to the library, and it's also open until like 8 p.m. Like during the week. Like, how many coffee shops are open till 8 p.m.? Say less. I live in the ATL, and you know what? There's a lot of places that aren't even 24 hours here, but the library is. The library is always there for me. Everybody will abandon you and give up on you except the library. The library will almost always be there. I did walk to the library to get books on hold during MLK Day and they were closed, and I was like, that is valid. I'm not even mad about it. But every other time, the library has been there for me. It's for me because, again, I can't study in complete silence sometimes, but it depends. I think it depends on the subject I'm studying. I think it depends on where my brain is at that day. It depends how many calories I had and how my sleep was. So the more you know yourself, the easier it does get to study as well. And also, the library will usually have, at your campus or other libraries, they might have a silence floor or like a silence area where it's like deep focus studying, where usually the med students go, and where the people that are getting a degree where you actually have to study for. No shade. I'm like a business major. I used to study in the break room at work, and oh my god, it was kind of perfect. Like, I would even study, I would have music in while my coworkers were playing loud and playing ping pong or playing foosball and probably losing, and they would be loud, but it was like perfect for me. So you have to find out where your perfect studying environment is. Also, there's standing desks. There's a standing desk. There is a walking pad. There's a little cycly thing that you can buy so you can like cycle while you sit at your desk. So I do a combo of all of these. Some things are a sit down subject. I gotta sit down if I really want to pay attention. And then I have subjects that are the soundproof booth. I'm like, I know. Astronomy is a soundproof booth subject. I need every brain cell firing for that subject. For quantum physics, baby, I can't really do that in the library with the dull roar going on behind me of students like rap battling sometimes. Ladies, PMDD, ADHD, your menstrual cycle, all of these things are going to affect your brain, and that's going to affect your studying. I promise you, my hormone cycle affects my studying 1000%. For some people, it's more out of whack than other people, and I know for me, I've gotten a bit healthier. I have been a lot happier since moving to the ATL because there is a lot more sun here. In Atlanta, it's actually raining now. It's kind of like Portland, like an animal in a cave, and I don't have the motivation. I know motivation doesn't really exist, but when you really think about it, the sun gives me energy. So if you wake up for days on end and there's no sun, yo sunt Român, I am Romanian. I was raised by immigrant parents. I'm about to be wearing a fit on campus and deal with it. And it's not even for other people. Sometimes I need to wear heels because I'm like, I need to feel like I have my life together. The booties are going on, baby. The heels are going on. The thigh-high boots are going on. And for the love of God, ask your professors and ask your tutors for help. This is a resource you are paying for. For the love of God, ask for help. And I grew up in a very independent family. I grew up Eastern European. Again, asking for help is one of the hardest things to do for me because I actually forget to do it. I just think like, oh, I got it. And then I think, oh, other people in this situation would ask for help. But that's not even on the table for me. That's not even an option. But I've gotten a lot better at that. I'm gonna end this, y'all, with Auntie Abby signing out. I still need to work out. I have my whole routine. I have my little checklist to go through. And it feels so good to check it off. I take it one step at a time. Have this anti-anxiety mindset. Live in the moment and think if you're freaking out about a final, we're not at finals yet, baby. I got a week and a half. So take it one step at a time. Be present, because that does lead to more peace and more happiness for people that are able to be present in the moment. But you take it one term at a time. Take it one class at a time, one semester at a time. Take a deep breath, because too much oxygen in the brain will cause hyperventilation. Controlling your breath for working out too, because oxygen, brain, that's connected. That will affect your performance. So as an athlete and as someone who's been looking into performance psychology a lot ever since, even before I ran my first marathon, endurance. And you have to be an endurance athlete in life, really, if you think about it, because life is a marathon, not a sprint. And I hate these cliches. I hate them, but they're true. They are so true. You're not there yet, but it's okay. Slow down, because also my brain's usually going too fast. Slow down. Take it one step